Hello and welcome to my very latest Dating Guru Advice video. Now today I'm going to be discussing a very sensitive topic, which is all about online dating, and it's something that I know does alarm lots of my older clients, and that's those in their 50s, 60s and beyond, because they've heard these horror stories about scammers on online dating sites. Now look in any newspaper or magazine and you'll see these stories week in, week out. And that's because these stories do sell newspapers, they sell the copies, so they sensationalise things. Yes, these people do exist. Scammers are awful, evil people based in foreign countries. What they do is they create profiles on online dating sites where they pretend to be somebody else and they will convince you that they're in love with you, so you fall in love and ultimately you end up sending them loads of money because you feel that you've got a partnership with them and you trust them. Now, that's the bad news. The good news is most of these people and these horrible scammers will never have any chance or opportunity to come into contact with you in the first place. That's because most of the online dating sites, especially all the good ones that you pay a fee for, have teams of people there who are on your side. And what they do is they be able to weed out all the fake profiles, all the scammers, all the people with more than one profile, anyone remotely suspicious, and they can identify them using the latest technology. They're always investing in it. No one wants their members to be ripped off or scammed, and they're on your side. Do remember this, please. So if you've got any concerns about someone's profile who does come to you, perhaps you've got any doubts or you're not quite sure, do not be afraid to tick the little report profile button that appears on everyone's profile. You won't cause them any trouble if they're a real person, and what happens is the team can then investigate it because it's flagged up, and they'll see how many complaints they've had, and they can do all sorts of checks on them to make sure that they really are who they claim to be. They can look at their emails they're sending out to you. Are they sending the same person the same message over and over again? And just remember, they're on your side. These teams of people are there. You're paying them that fee. Do not be afraid to ask them. You're not wasting anyone's time. It's their job, so please do it. So how do you spot a scammer? Now, the first thing to do is look for certain language patterns. I tend to find that scammers will use phrases like God-fearing, and they've got about how religious they are or how they are so honest. People don't say they're honest in real life, but scammers seem to love saying they're honest in the hope they're going to convince you that they're honest. And little triggers like that. I've written books on the subject of this, of how to avoid scammers. Look at their behaviour, look at what they're saying. They tend to have military pictures or say that they're widowed, and they give you a sob story about how their wife died or how they've been lonely all their lives and you're the most important person to them. So the next thing to do is look at the emails they send to you. If you've got a correspondence and you find that they are overly keen, as in desperate and tell you that they love you very quickly in the first couple of emails, then alarm bells should be triggering. People don't normally behave like that. And if you've got any doubts about these emails, again, ask your friends to read over them and to look at the profile. Because often you can be blinded by this because you fall in love with somebody and you fall in love with the idea that someone loves you. And it can be quite hurtful to think that they're trying to scam you. So you choose to believe that they're honest and trustworthy, and they're not. So do not be afraid to ask your friends to look at the profiles. The next thing is to try and speak to them on the telephone. Often they tend to be away from the UK because they can't really meet you, they're based overseas. And they'll say, well, I can't speak to you today, I'm going to be working, or I haven't got phone contact or internet access. If they've got internet access, they can have Skype. If they're mailing you in the first place, they've got Skype or a phone connection. So do not be afraid to ask to speak to them on the phone. Look at their videos. Is it really them? Do they sound how they're supposed to sound? Are their accents the way that you expect them to be? And if they're not, do not be afraid to delete them and cut off all contact. And please, the most important thing to do when it comes to scammers, I hope you're listening, I'm leaning in now to be really serious here. Never, ever send anybody any money that you've met on an online dating site. Do not do it. They'll give you all these sob stories about how they're trapped and often got a visa or their business isn't doing very well, can they have a loan, all these common things. Please never send anyone any money. If they're genuine and they're a good person, they're not going to need to borrow money off you, not even a small amount of money. They start off small, you give them a small amount of money, the next thing they know, they want thousands and thousands and thousands. So please never do that. Do not be afraid to ask your friends. If anything at all seems dubious or you're not sure about it, do not be afraid to cut them off. Life is too short to be messed around by fake people. Most people online are absolutely wonderful, but please use your common sense. If something seems too good to be true, it usually is. Now, the topic of online dating scammers can go on for days and days and days, and I've will do more videos about this in the future. So if this interests you, or you want more advice about dating in general, when it comes to online dating or any other types of dating, then please subscribe to my video channel. It's so important that you do. Everyone that subscribes, I know that there's an audience for what I'm talking about and you're keen to hear more from me. If you don't subscribe, I don't know that you'll like what I do. If you want me to talk about anything else, any topic of dating, relationships or lifestyle, please leave me a comment down the bottom so I know that you like what I do and you want me to do more videos about it. I'm doing a new video every single Sunday, so I need things to talk about. So give me some ideas. I'd love to hear about them. And thank you so much for watching. Please like the video as well and share it with your friends. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.